Buckle in, I'm weaving these stories deeper into the abyss of the unsettling. Each tale will stretch its eerie fingers further into the darkness, pulling you in for a longer, more immersive experience. 1. The Echo in the Walls. Margaret never believed the horror stories about her apartment building. It was old, sure, the pipes groaned and the walls were thin, but she dismissed the rumors of strange voices and missing tenants as paranoia. That changed on the night she heard her own name, whispered in her own voice. It was just past midnight when the sound came, soft, urgent, just beneath the wallpaper. The heater hummed in the corner, drowning the silence, but Margaret stood frozen in the center of her living room. They're coming, Margaret. Her knees locked, her pulse pounded. The voice was hers, but warped, distorted like a recording played too slow. She pressed her ear to the wall. Silence. Then, something shifted inside. A rustling, like dry leaves caught in the wind. She staggered back, turned on every light in the apartment, and sat awake until morning. The next day, she broke her lease and left. She didn't even take all of her belongings, just a suitcase stuffed with clothes. But weeks later, she saw the news. The building was condemned. The new owners had peeled away the aging plaster, and inside the walls, they found bodies. Dozens of them, mouths open, silent screams. She never went back, but sometimes, when she lies awake in bed, she swears she hears her name, whispering through the walls of her new home. 2. 3 knocks at midnight. Mike had lived in his rental for 6 months before the warnings started. The elderly woman next door, Mrs. Cartwright, would watch him from her porch, shaking her head. If you hear 3 knocks at midnight, she told him, do not open the door. Mike laughed. What happens if I do? Mrs. Cartwright pursed her lips. They take you. It sounded like superstition, the kind of story an old woman spins to keep herself entertained. But that night, as he lay awake in bed, the knocks came. 3 sharp raps against the door. Mike sat up. He checked his phone. 12 a.m. His heartbeat quickened, but he convinced himself it was a prank. Probably some neighborhood kids messing with him. He swung his legs out of bed, padded to the door. 3 more knocks, louder. He turned the knob, opened it. Darkness. The empty street stretched before him, the houses silent, the wind still. No one there. Then, something cold brushed his ankle. The next morning, Mrs. Cartwright found his door wide open. His shoes sat neatly inside the threshold. His jacket hung on the hook. But Mike was gone, and at precisely midnight, the knocking started at her door. 3. The Man in the Reflection. Lisa always hated mirrors. Even as a child, she avoided looking too closely into them, convinced that something lurked behind the glass. But as she grew older, she forced herself to be rational. There was nothing there, at least, not until she moved into the new apartment. At first, it was just a trick of the light, something shifting in the reflection when she moved past. A shadow, faint, barely noticeable. She chalked it up to paranoia, ignoring the whisper of unease that tickled the back of her mind. But one night, as she washed her hands, she looked up. The mirror showed her standing alone in the bathroom. But behind her, half shrouded in darkness, was a shape. She turned sharply. Nothing. Her stomach twisted. Heart racing, she took down every mirror in the apartment, threw them into the trash outside. But when she woke up the next morning, her bathroom mirror was back. And the reflection was waiting. 4. The Phone Call. Julia had spent years learning to live with loss. When her son, David, died in the accident, the world felt hollow, a place drained of meaning. She kept herself busy, work, hobbies, distractions that filled her time but never the empty space inside her. Then, one night, her phone rang. She frowned at the screen. No caller ID. Hello, silence. Then, a voice. Mom. Julia's breath hitched in her throat. The voice was soft, uncertain. It was David's voice. She gripped the phone. Her chest felt tight, her vision blurred. David, I'm still here, he whispered. But I don't know where I am. The line went dead. She stared at the screen, heart hammering. Tears spilled over her lashes. She tried calling back. Nothing. The number didn't exist. But sometimes, late at night, her phone lights up with an incoming call. No number, no sound, just the quiet pulse of something waiting in the darkness. I hope you enjoy this descent into the unsettling. I could craft more, or twist the endings into something even darker. Let me know what haunts your imagination most. The Feast. Daniel wasn't thrilled about inheriting his grandmother's house, but he couldn't bring himself to sell it either. The place held too many memories, the scent of baked cinnamon rolls drifting through the halls, the low hum of her ancient radio playing gospel songs, the way the floors creaked beneath her soft steps. Yet the moment he stepped inside, something was wrong. The air was heavier, the silence too thick, pressing against his ears. The house held its breath, waiting. He stayed for one night. The whispers started in the walls around midnight, soft, urgent, curling through the wooden beams like trapped voices clawing for release. He lay stiff in bed, convincing himself it was the old pipes, the shifting of the house against the cold wind. Then, his phone buzzed. It's time. Asterisk, no number. His chest tightened. A long groan echoed through the house, like the floorboards were stretching, sighing under unseen weight. Another text. Come to the kitchen. Asterisk. His throat clenched. He had no reason to be afraid. It was a trick. Maybe an old automated message from his grandmother's outdated home security system. He stood, moving slowly down the hallway. The wooden boards beneath his feet pulsed, shifting like rotten flesh under his weight. In the kitchen, the lights flickered. The feast awaited. Glistening meats, steaming bread, thick honey glistening over perfectly ripened fruits, arranged neatly, as if expecting guests. His stomach turned. It smelled wrong. At first, it was sweet, carrying the rich aroma of roasted meats and cinnamon. But beneath that, deep in the air, something foul curdled. His phone buzzed. Eat. Asterisk. The shadows shifted. From the darkness, his grandmother's voice rasped. Asterisk. You're part of the feast now. Asterisk. The walls peeled, revealing faces. Bodies fused into the wood, their hollow eyes staring, mouths open in silent screams. The floor split. Hands curled around his ankles, pulling him down. His phone fell to the ground, the screen flashing one last message. Welcome home. Asterisk. Dash dash dash. The door that shouldn't exist. Jenna's apartment wasn't special, just a small, aging space in a building filled with strangers. She liked that, the anonymity, the quiet routine of life within its walls. Until the night she woke to find a door at the end of the hallway. A door that had never been there before. It was tall and dark, with no handle. A whisper curled through the air. Open it. Asterisk. Her breath hitched. She stepped closer, hesitantly reaching out. The wood pulsed under her fingertips, warm, too warm, like living flesh. She pulled back sharply. Morning came. The door was gone, but something had changed. The air felt damp, the walls carried a rotting scent. The hallway was wrong. It stretched just a bit longer, the shadows pooling unnaturally beneath the light fixture. At night, she heard scratching beneath the floorboards. 3 weeks later, the door returned. This time, it had a handle. This time, it was already turning. Dash dash dash. Voices under the bed. Leo had outgrown his childhood fears, or so he thought. But last week, something changed. Every night at exactly 3 a.m., the whispering started. Soft, urgent voices murmured beneath his bed, too quiet to understand, too numerous to belong to one person. The first night, he ignored them. The second night, he listened. The third night, he understood. Just look under. Asterisk. The voice was clear now, sharper, more impatient. He didn't move. A slow drag, nails scraping against the wood beneath him. The whispers turned frantic. Just look. We need you to see us. Asterisk. His body locked in place, breath frozen in his chest. Then, something pressed against the mattress. A weight, shifting directly beneath him. Closer. Asterisk. Tomorrow, he's moving, but he knows, deep down, no matter where he goes, the voices will follow, and sooner or later, he'll have no choice but to look. Dash dash dash. The passenger in the backseat. David was driving home late. The highway stretched long before him, the streetlights flickering in rhythmic patterns, casting shadows that curled unnaturally along the road. The radio crackled, static creeping over the music. Then, the voice came. You should have locked the back door. Asterisk. David stiffened. He checked the mirror. The back seat was empty. His fingers tightened over the steering wheel. He reached for his phone, fumbling, ready to call someone. The radio cut out. The back seat creaked. A slow breath whispered against his neck. He forced himself to look. The mirror showed him sitting alone. But in the back, someone grinned at him. Their teeth stretched impossibly wide, their dark eyes sinking into the hollows of their skin. And they were getting closer. Dash dash dash. Hash hash asterisk asterisk 5. The house that moves. The house on Maple Street shouldn't exist. Some days, it stands proudly, its white picket fence wrapping around the pristine yard. Other days, it's collapsing, rotting wood, broken windows, the fence missing entirely. No one knows who lives there. One night, Evan walks past. The door is open. A voice calls from inside, weak, pleading. Help me. Asterisk. He steps in. The air thickens, turning stale. The walls pulse, shifting under his touch like breathing flesh. The door slams shut. Outside, the house disappears. In its place, an empty patch of land stretches beneath the streetlights. As if the house, and Evan, had never been there at all.